Right, Woodlands winners. Different look this week. Cameron Grant, hello.
Oh, good to see you.
We got one Mark Hughes missing in action. He's actually overseas with Fiona. I think on a bit of a Swiss Alps mission. I'm not 100% sure. I've had a couple of funny little photos, so not 100% sure. But he will be missed. But the show will continue. Cam, that's one thing about it.
Yeah, look, he sounds like he's in a better place than you and I at the moment. So he's having a good kind of well-earned break, which is good. You know, tail end of all this sales season and the silly season just before it gets mad again. So no, good on him.
Yeah, it will indeed, and you'll be able to see along the bottom of the ticker there, the weanling sale is up and coming, and I can say that from next week onwards, it'll be Woodlands winners will be tailored around those. The catalogue is not quite live yet, so we'll leave them go, but looking forward to it, Cam, and this year it's going to be online too. The dates are down there underneath. It'll be online from the 13th through to the 20th, back onto Gavel House, a little bit like the back into the COVID days.
Yeah, so just with Alaba probably easing up on their numbers, this is what's pushed it online, which is fine. I think that was the way it was possibly heading anyway. So back to kind of COVID times, you're right, it's going to be the new norm. I don't think the catalogue's going to be massive this year overall, but I think people will see that it works and it'll be a lot bigger next year moving forward. But no, you're right. 7th of May, photos and all that, everything's going to be live on Gavel House, and then 13th to the 20th, the bidding. So no, like I said, people can kind of get in tune and have a go, and they know there's some nice horses that get bred out of that sale, and they're not crazy money.
I believe it'll be a fully normal NZB sale with the catalogue online. So you'll be able to go to NZB standardbred.co.nz and you'll be able to follow the links through there to the actual catalogue. But then it will sell through the Gavel House platform. So a little bit different, but I know with COVID, everyone got their head around it. And I do think it's possibly a way of the future. Online sales, a little bit less expenses, a lot of it less expenses. You don't have to worry about stabling and boxing and things along those lines. And I do know there's going to be an open day after the Rowe Cup, and we want to get that message out there. So anyone going to the Rowe Cup meeting, which is a fortnight this weekend, is that right, Cam? I reckon it is.
Yep. So Rowe Cup will be 8th of Friday the 8th of May, and then we just thought, well, whilst the catalogue just kind of goes online, we'll do an open day at Woodlands on the 9th of May at 11 o'clock. So anyone's welcome to pop out to, I'm assuming it'll be at Hamlin Road. So we'll be able to go and have and inspect the horses, and they'll parade them. And that'll be business as usual. So that's the plan of attack at this stage.
It's still in its early stages, a lot of that stuff. So keep up to date. Basically, go to woodlandstud.co.nz is the best way to go. And you'll be able to see all the updates when the horses are announced. They'll be on there. And as I said, Campbell's Comment's going to be over there next week. I've got a few things planned. And then I think you've got a couple of weeks off, actually. I'm going to have Tony Grayland on Woodlands winners next week. And Stacey Markham, she's not quite aware that, or Stacey White, I'll get into trouble. She's not quite aware that she'll be doing the week after, but she'll be, of course, doing the photos and the videos. And I thought we'll get a different side of things there from Stace that week after. But be catching up with Andrew and Paul next week, and also Tony Grayland. So got a fair bit of Woodlands content coming through, especially around these weanling sales. Been a pretty big week, mate.
With that sale, I think there's about 25 horses coming out of Woodlands, and Alabar's horses are also there. So I think they've got 5 or 6 as well. So they're all going to be stabled together, so which is nice.
They'll be at that parade.
Yep.
Wow.
The Alabar ones will be there. So they're obviously they're there at the moment. So they're just going to continue with our lot and just go through the motions, and they'll be there too.
Hats off to whoever decided that. That's well done. Putting any egos behind and helping everyone, help the industry. That's what we've got to do in this industry and make it bigger and smaller. Before we get on to the week, how was your week, mate? What do we do in the when it's a little bit quieter, when you're not out there trying to sell service fees?
What do? I try a lot of different coffee shops, so I do see a lot of people get around Canterbury, and I'm well known for the coffee shops, so we definitely have a lot of coffees. Steve, the accountant, will certainly look at my expense account at the end of the month and query how you've had 40 coffees in a month or 50 coffees in a month, but we get through it all right. So mainly on the phone and trying to visit people where I can, but just laying low a little bit as well. It's quite nice to just be with the family and float around home, to be fair, because I do spend a lot of time on the road. So it is,
and I think I've enjoyed it back here without doing the yearling sales for 2 weeks. I've got to start ramping things up. I've got a lot of things backing up all of a sudden, but it is just nice just to walk outside and not have to get in the car and turn the car over or touch the phone sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said, people probably they probably laugh at a job like mine sometimes with Hughes. You know, what do you really do? But talking to people all day, every day is quite taxing, especially when it gets to sales time and whatnot. It's great, as you know. It's got lovely talking to people, but it's pretty tiring when you do it days on end. So it is harder than it looks.
It is, and but it's a rewarding job, and we enjoy it, and we're definitely not upset about it by any stretch. Just very quickly, Cam, before we do go on, it's a bit remiss of me too. Colin Hind passed away last night after a short battle with cancer, by the sounds of what I've been able to see. But he will be a loss to the industry, full stop, and definitely to the Canterburyans and people around that area, because he was incredibly passionate, and this is not a Woodlands plug by any stretch, because I think Majestic Sun was the sire of his last two really good horses, but he was just a great person of the industry, and he was sadly missed.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's been a sad week. You're right. Obviously, Colin here has done a lot. He was on the board for 10 or 12 or 13 years, something like that. So he's put a lot into it, and he's been on the breeders and whatnot, kind of heading that for a long time. So he's done a lot for the industry and had a lot of success probably in the latter part of it. So I know he's been quite ill a reasonably short period of time. I knew he wasn't keeping very well, so it was very sad to see him go. And then we lost another Colin, actually. So Colin Berry, which was AJ's our photographer around the Canterbury area, and his old man passed away as well. So he did a lot between just doing all the photos through Riccarton, Eddington, all that kind of jazz. So it was sad to see him go as well. And I think he was 89, so he had a good innings.
Yeah, I didn't know he was AJ's father. AJ, if you are watching this, my condolences. I didn't know that. Of course, responsible for that brilliant photo. I'm pretty sure it ended up in the new building, but it was definitely in the old HRNZ building that you walked in, and sad day where the grandstand was on fire, but just magic photos. And to capture that moment, I think there was horses still on the track and flames falling out of in his presence. It's just one of those great iconic photos. I don't think of harness racing either. It's just a New Zealand photo, something about the past.
Yeah, I'm sure health and safety wouldn't appreciate that nowadays, but they just pressed on with the grandstand on fire and got the race done. And no, Colin took that photo, I'm pretty sure, which is it was a very, very cool photo, and it is still through Spectators, and there's a couple of photos kind of through Eddington of that.
Yeah, you used to walk into the main office at HRNZ and it was just there in front of you. I am sure it's in the new building. Been a little while since I've been there, but not quite as in your face as what it once was. But yeah, and Colin Hare, I think I said Hind there before. I do apologise. Colin Hind is a gentleman I do know. But Colin Hare, of course, Sunday's son and Sonny's sister. And I don't think the Aussies ever got to saw Sunday's son. He was a ripper horse, that's for sure. So our condolences to their family and anyone that's affected too as well, to each of those. Right, back to promoting the boys, and what a magic week it's been. We might even start off. We might start off with a mate of ours, Pin Seeker, and we give him a fair bit of a rap from time to time, Cam, and rightfully so. He's a beautiful horse, but brought up his second win in Australia the other day. First though for Luke McCarthy. I think Johnny took him over there. Coxie took him over there just recently, and I think he had two other starts prior to this start on this occasion. But this was a pretty cool win by him. He actually pulled very, very hard on this occasion, and you can actually see he's 1 out 2 back there. And generally when he pulls this hard, he doesn't sort of finish it off. He doesn't just finish it off, mate. He savaged the line on this occasion, running down the Jason Grimson horse in front, whose name I've lost because I haven't got a form guide open. But it just he was awesome. And here he looks like he's in a bit of trouble, but geez, he knows how to find the line now, doesn't he?
No, very much so. Like I said, it was a shame kind of we don't have a heap of short distance kind of racing for those horses over here, and he probably just wasn't quite up to him with his racing pattern, just because you're right, he pulls a lot. But Aussie was certainly probably a good destination for him, and he's hit the line pretty well there. And look, that was over the 2-2, like we said, I think as well, wasn't it? I wasn't over the
2-3.
wasn't over the 2-3, not like the mile that was advertised. So you're right, he looked kind of out on his feet at the top of the straight, and he just pressed on. And look, I'm sure they'll have a lot of fun with him in that part of the world. I think he'll do a good job running angle for Luke.
Yeah, he will indeed. And 53.8, 27.9, 26.6 last two quarters. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And he's a son of down by the seaside. And what I like about him, Cam, I don't know, like I know you know the boys that own him very well. Did you ever have that game of golf?
No, we still haven't had that game of golf. We do need to tee it up, don't we? We
Yeah,
really need to get onto it.
Campbell's comments. We might have to come over. I'm coming over, as I said, next week. We might have to come over to Christchurch in a couple of weeks. We might even go out in the golf course and get the boys there. We might have a bit of behind the scenes fun, if you like. On the Woodlands account, Steve, there'll be more than a couple of coffees on that one if you watch.
Absolutely. Have a go. Have a go.
Chase a Dream was that horse that he was actually chasing home.
Well,
But
he's no slug.
no, he's a little bit like the other horse I'm going to talk about in a second from Australia as well. But Pinsinger, he's been to war. You know, when he went through to Queensland, Coxie done a huge job to get him back after that because, I mean, that second heat run could have flattened him forever and never got him back to the races. And Coxie and Kimberley have done an awesome job with this horse. And I think you're right, though. I think he's placed right at the minute is Menangle. I don't think he'd you say Australia, I don't think he'd be as well suited down here at Melton either, where we sit him up there where they just roll the whole trip. That's where it's going to really suit that horse, I believe.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll burn a few clocks in his time when they've got him over the mile. I'm sure he'll set some pretty quick paces around there. There's no doubt about that at all.
Yep. No. Right. Yeah. We're going to go. We're going to go to Sunday. I'm going to throw you backwards if that's okay with the Donegans Pro Equine, the Leonard Memorial. This was for the 2-year-old fillies. Really, really cool result here, Cam, with Bettor's Delight trifecta in this race. And I think actually he was just talking there about Seaside. I think there's a nice sneaky little Seaside in there that actually runs second last. That won't be far off a win either, coming up very, very shortly for the connections there. But terrific win. Well done to the team from Callan Racing. They've got a really nice team of horses at the minute, and these two fillies look very, very good.
No, very much so. I had some guys I know that I think they had a reasonably large bet on the winner the week or 2 weeks prior. So it got second when it had its first start down south, and I don't think they backed the truck up. So, hey, look, it was a big run. It led up with the stablemate behind, and that also had a lot of support in the market. And yeah, just Hayden and Amanda, the job they're doing, the horses they keep turning out, they're just performing just very, very good, and it's just showing how strong that stable is. And look, it was a Pigs run 1, 2, 3, which was great, and Bettor's Delight, in his ripe age of 28. It's pretty cool that these kind of Group 3 reasonable big feature races in Canterbury are still just getting the attention from the sire like himself. And look, these horses look like they're on the way up, and I'm sure there's plenty left in the tank in the next kind of month or two with these two.
Yeah,
or 3 or 4. It's a nice field all around. To be fair, a small field but nice horses there.
That horse, Rosetta Gold, for Sarah O'Reilly and Tony Thomas, a gentleman I don't know a lot about, looked like early on, if you go back and watch that race early on, looked like it was going to be tailed off. It didn't look like it was. And then once it tacked on, and it was terrific, and I think it'll be a lot better for that run. I know it's had a couple, but it's getting better and better all the time. And being a daughter of Seaside, that's what they do. They do get better.
Very much so. Look, Tony trains out of Blenheim, so it's it's nice that he popped down to meetings like this. And you're right, it was a nice kind of he hit the line well. She hit the line well, and I'm sure give her another 6 months or so. I reckon she's going to be very, very nice. But I think she can pick one up soon too. So she looks like a horse with a lot of scope.
I am the boss, but what fun and validation. Much better once I get me. I said to you I had everything organised, but I didn't quite have everything organised as it turns out. I might stick with you, Cam. The other winner you did have. Now, it was an interesting one when you posted it through to me, but sorry, mate, I'm just trying to get to it now. We're going to go to the last race, and this horse was, you're going to say his name for me because I can't even get that part. I've shut everything down. I'm going.
Prosperity, that's him.
And he is in terrific form for Matty Purvis. I'm going to call him the Goose because I can't remember his real name, which I shouldn't do. Robbie Close. I'll turn that one down because that's actually showed the replay, and the other one won't show the replay for us at the minute. But regulation win in a way, Cam, but it's just the way this horse is starting to really wake up and put things together, isn't it?
Yeah, it was more the way he did it. You're right, because it's tough. We're doing such a good job with the side front. When you try to do a highlight package, it's hard to kind of pick it. And I don't want to pick the same ones all the time because a lot of the big trainers have a lot of luck with a lot of our stallions. So, look, this horse has gone to Matty Purvis, and I wouldn't say the field was deep by any stretch of imagination, but just the way he did it when you see him kind of hit the line the last 400. he's done it under his own steam and won very, very well. And I think he was kind of home in 56 and 27 over the bigger distance. So look,
This is the
I think he's won three or
part that I
four
like,
from
Cam.
five.
Like he's impressive here, isn't he? Like Robbie asked him to go, and he just really runs away from these other horses.
Yeah, very much so. Like I don't think he even had to pull the gear, so he gave him a wee reminder, and he's done it very, very nicely. So look, a sweet Lou out of a Mac 3 mare bred by our friends at Tardina. So they've had a great relationship with us over the years, and it's nice to see some of the families are just doing such a good job still.
Yep, absolutely, and it won't be his last. I think he's won now 4 of his last 5, as you said there at the start of it. And rightfully, I'm looking at the video. Actually, he just clicked off, but no, the full ears were on and were not removed. So yeah, he's got plenty more in store for him, that horse there. And it was on the same night that Travel Agent for Robert and Jenna Dunn brought up his first win from his second start. Very, very impressive with the 2-year-old, and there was also Metro Boy was quite nice as well, getting into third there for the Dunns, and Robbie Close as well in that other 2-year-old on that occasion. I think Travel Agent, they might feature in next week's show because they're going down to the Diamond Creek Classic down there at Invercargill on Sunday. So any of the Australian viewers watching, it's a ripping 2-year-old down there. I think it's a $100,000 race plus incentives on top of that, and two unbeaten betters delight. So it'll be heading it up, plus horses like Travel Agent and that. So it's a really good field for the team heading down there.
And yeah, I think that's $100,000 Group 1, which is really nice. Shame probably that the nominations aren't big, but the field is very strong from all that. So yeah, and look, the SBSR guys, we do a lot of work with them down there, and there's some more incentives on top of it. So I think if the horse that wins the race was purchased from SBSR, there's a $5,000 bonus that they pay. And if it was sired by a Diamond Creek stallion, which is there's a few of them nowadays, either through us or through Alabar, there's another $5,000 bonus. So it's nice that SBSR are trying some different kind of carrots. I guess that's what they're calling them. And yeah, like I said, very, very strong field, represented by kind of a reasonable amount of stallions too.
I've just got it up now, Cam. Sorry, mate. I was trying. I actually went to the wrong place. But Roger that being by Sweet Lou. Chigsy is unbeaten.
Chigsy's by Betters.
Betters Delight. The Sweetest Catch is a Sweet Lou, and Travel Agent is the other Sweet Lou in that field. So the 3 Sweet Lou's are definitely eligible for that. The other 2 are by Captain Treasurer. So it will be Roger that, the Sweetest Catch, and Travel Agent all going for that extra $5,000 bonus. I don't think Roger that is actually eligible for the sale bonus, though, which is interesting because he was sold in the North Island, not the South Island. So through Graham Rogerson, that's how he gets his name. So
that's right. That's right.
I'm just going to double check.
Woodlands would be if the Dunn horse could get the job done. I'm sure the Woodlands office would be very happy because it was bred and raised at Woodlands. So let's hope they can have a good go. But look, it's a very, very nice field. I think Roger that's the one that started favourite there, but he's done a great job. So.
Just be careful. So is Chigsy. Chigsy was also bred by.
He was. Andrew Fitzgerald will have me for that one. He's the main man behind. And look, he's a very nice horse as well. He's already run a group race. No, look, the talent's very, very strong. It's going to be a good race, even though it's small. Yeah,
definitely. It's a great race. I was lucky enough to be down there a few years ago. I think it was when Vesson won it, actually. And, terrific race, and it's very well patronised. So what we want to get out there. Cam, Lather Up's the other horse, and Husey and I have been banging on about him for a long time, and you come in as well. He's just doing a magic job. I'm going to showcase a horse in a second, but just want people to be aware of a horse called $100 Man, who's now won over $100,000 in stakes, only 3 wins. He's only a lightly raced 5-year-old horse, but he set a PB the other day of 52.2, winning at Delaware on that occasion. But he keeps getting winners, Lather Up, everywhere. 2-year-olds now through to the older horses in the matter of there with $100 Man, which he'll be his oldest progeny in America. The horse I'm about to highlight here in Australia as well is out of that oldest progeny, but the 2-year-olds are already coming through as well.
No, you're right. I think $100 Man was one of those ones. He's obviously had a few issues because I reckon he started off. He was quite a nice 2-year-old when he kind of came out, and he did a good job in Ohio. And obviously, he's just had a few niggles there. So, no, you're right. He's again a stallion that's probably underlooked in this part of the world. So very spoilt for the kind of horses we do have access to.
I think people are starting to sit up. I know he had 40 foals his first 2 years. So from 80 foals, he's already had 2 Group 1 winners. I think people need to be aware of that stat in itself. And this horse I will showcase. I'll just scrub it forward a little bit before we get to it. But this horse is a horse called Calexico. And he sits box seat behind Oliver Dan and our Luciano, both very high profile horses here. But for Damien and Wilson and I'm in all sorts of trouble. Can't remember Damien's partner's name. She'll tell me off. Laura Wilson. That's him sitting third. But the thing about this horse, Cam, where I like this horse so much, I know speaking to Damien as a young 2-year-old, he went to war one night with the Tonkin Stewart camp and sort of took on 2 and 3 of the horses, and unfortunately, he finished down the track. And Damien was worried whether he'd ever come back. He's come back. He keeps coming back. He keeps going to war. He keeps racing all the way through. He's probably going to end up in America, I'd imagine, a horse like this very shortly. But he's a lovely horse that just continues to do it. Great bread and butter horse for the connections, and just does an awesome job. Off a very low service fee price, and continues to do the job. I'll actually get up what he has won now. So he's coming up to 90,000. He's won 10 races. He's got a PB of 51.5. Just a beautiful horse.
Yeah, very much so. And you're right. It's always it's nice to kind of have a crack at the big boys early days, and there is always that worry that you're not stuffing out of them early. And no, look, he's done a great job. They're having a lot of fun there, and to almost have 100 grand in the bank already, it's very good for the service fee price at the end of the day, and shows what kind of horse you can get.
Yeah, and he offers huge value. They may not top the yearling sales, but I think anyone out there wanting to breed winners, we've got one here. I'll happily put my hand up, love him. I don't get to drive him too often. He's too nice a horse. Holly takes him. I'm not allowed in the seat. So, but and he's going to, of course, will be back next year. But people need to be aware of what he is doing. He's got a beautiful 2-year-old. Jackson Painting's got a beautiful 2-year-old again this year that ran through Bathurst. It was awesome in its heat. I don't know where it ran in the final, actually. It would have made the silver, I think, on that occasion. But it's a lovely horse as well. So doing it everywhere. And as I said, only off a small number of horses. I can't do it on that one. I might be able to do it on this one while we are still going. But, I'm sure he had 40 his first 3 years at stud. So, and that third year, we've only just started racing now, so as 2-year-olds. So, doing an awesome job.
Yep, very much so. And like I said, I think we're going to keep seeing some nice winners roll out by him. And like I said, numbers are getting a little bit better each year, which is good. So he's kind of set up for the next kind of 5 years and should do a good job. And like I said, I think he'll just keep breeding steadily, kind of a bit more every year.
Yep, and he offers up that unique part. I think we highlighted quite a few of the yearlings. Sorry, mate, just got to make sure you hit the right button when we were doing the yearling sales. But you can actually go back to him with the Betters Delight mare, and it's really cool, some of those crosses that we were able to see.
Yeah, like I said, early days, I kind of thought, do you go to a Betters Delight mare? Like, to me, it was probably not my cup of tea, but he was leaving 2-year-old winners doing it. So,
yep.
What do I know?
He's had 178 live foals. So that will be, weanlings and yearlings that would have just been going through last year, and 2-year-olds are part of that. And I'll give you the breakdown on that in a minute. They've just ticked over the $1 million in stakes, just under $21,000. They have average earners, 56 starters, 35 of those have won. So he's better than 50% once they make the races. And I'll give you the live foals by season. Just got to log in. Good old HRA. Mind you, they're having a few issues. So he had 48 foals his first season, 34 foals. So he had a top of 82 have actually raced. A maximum could have raced there. Now there's a crop of 42-year-olds this year. Yep. So, and he's already had a couple of 2-year-old winners. So he's just doing a magic job. Very
much so. Like I said, numbers like that, I think the statistics are very, very strong. And like I said, I think they're only going to get better, which is really good.
Yep, definitely. No, it's exciting. Cam, thank you. You might be able to venture out to the golf course now, mate.
Yeah, well, it's 8 degrees today. Very, very cold. So
I don't actually know, mate. I got the short sleeves on. I've actually got shorts on underneath as well.
I got the full jacket today. We'll be staying inside, unfortunately. But hey, look, we'll get to the golf course at some stage. I'm going down Southland on Friday for the Harness Awards, and then we'll stay through till Sunday for the Diamonds Day, then back home. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, I still one of the scariest rides home I've ever had is actually from that day, I must say. When that wind starts down south, it can be very horrendous. Mate, thank you. As I said, keep up to date. Go to woodlandstud.co.nz. I'll be catching up with the farm from next week. Stacey, the week after that, you can have a week or two off, mate. And hopefully the great man might be back by then afterwards. And but we'll be rolling through that sale as well. We might even do a couple of extra things. We might even go live when the sale's about to finish or something. We'll work it out. Play around with
Beautiful.
We'll
That sounds very good to me.
And that sale, of course, opens on the 7th of May. The weanlings will be available to view who they are, and then the bidding starts from the 13th through to the 20th on Gavaleos. You can go to woodlandstud.co.nz or go to NZB standardbred.co.nz and follow the links once it goes there. I did look the other day and it still wasn't up yesterday. I had a look, so it won't be up just yet, but they won't be far off. Cam, Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you very much, Paul. Appreciate it.